Well, we got some news for you. One, Karoline Leavitt has debuted a new face, and the internet is going astir over it. And we also have Rand Paul has attacked JD Vance online, and this is a continuation of his attacks on the Venezuelan boat that they're saying is a drug cartel that was crossing the ocean in order to get to us, and they thought it was very important that the U.S. government killed 11 people without any due process. Let's get to that first, and then we'll show you Karoline Leavitt's new look and internet's reaction. First, Rand Paul said this about why it's so important that we, have due process.
The fact that U.S. officials describe the individuals killed by the U.S. strike as narco-terrorists does not transform them into lawful military targets. The U.S. is not engaged in an armed conflict with Venezuela or Nicaragua. The strike runs afoul to the right to life under international human rights law. So the president basically said that these guys are terrorists. You can kill terrorists. You can't, I guess, kill drug dealers just for dealing drugs, right?
Well, this is, brings up a question. So, we assume these people were bad people and drug dealers, but if they were caught off the coast of Miami, we would stop the boat. If they don't shoot at us, we don't shoot at them. They're confiscated, they're put in jail, and then they go through a trial to prove what they were doing. And if they have 20 pounds of cocaine or heroin or something on the boat, they'll be convicted. The reason we have trials, though, and we don't automatically assume guilt is, what if we make a mistake and they happen to be people fleeing Venezuela, the Venezuelan dictator? I think probably that, we had the facts correct. We got bad people here. But that's the reason, like off our coast, it isn't our policy just to blow people up. We don't blow up ships entering our waters unless they're, hell-bent on attacking another ship, or unless they are resisting with gunfire. Right. We arrest people. So it is difficult, and it's hard because obviously they're bad people. So people are like, they want something bad to happen to them. But typically, even the worst people in our country, if we accuse somebody of a terrible crime, they still get a trial, basically. They get a lawyer, they get their day in court.
Yeah. But if we're at war, we blow up bad guys all the time, I think.
But we're not at war. Someone tell me when Congress has declared war with people in little boats traveling over the ocean. When did we declare a war against that? I don't believe we did. Now, I agree. I don't think drug cartels, if they make it to our shores, we should properly handle them. But this is not the way. Let's keep going.
That's what they're saying. This is a war. And we do have, obviously, you know the numbers of how many people in this country die from illicit drugs that come in from Central and South America. A lot of them have fentanyl and other very dangerous ingredients in them. People drop dead all the time. They kill 100,000 people a year on a bad year, 100,000 Americans dying. That does kind of feel like a war.
It's also why in our country war is the exception. So when we have a war, it was intended that we would declare war, it'd be a big vote of our Congress. And then at that point in time, we say, if that enemy, if we are at war, let's say with Venezuela, then we say their ships are free to shoot them anywhere they are, anytime. And so we kill them off their coast, we kill them in their country, but we've declared war on them. It's a little harder here because this is a crime and this is a criminal syndicate. So look, once again, no love lost for the people who died that are trying to...
If they are who they say they are. Now, I don't trust the Trump administration. Rand Paul is going pretty far outside of MAGA to be alleging this and to be saying that, hey, we should put the brakes on this sort of stuff. But to me, it's a wider question of, are these folks even who they say they were? Now, JD Vance was actually disgusting, and this is where he got clapped up by, by Rand Paul. So JD Vance said this. JD Vance said, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. Democrats, let's send your kids to die in Russia. Republicans, let's actually protect our people from the scum of the earth. Oh my God. And then Brian Krasenstein said, killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. Fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. JD Vance said, I don't give a shit what you call it. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. I don't give a shit what you call it. We're so past Rubicon on this sort of stuff. But we really are supposed to have due process. We're not just supposed to kill whoever we want, whenever we want. Well, Rand Paul said it even better than I did. I cannot believe I'm agreeing with Rand Paul. And he said this. He said, JD, I don't give a shit. Vance, it's already kind of slapping him. I hate to say it. Says killing people he accuses of a crime is the highest and best use of the military. Did he ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? Did he ever wonder what might happen if the accused were immediately executed without a trial or representation? What a despicable and thoughtless sentiment it is to glorify killing someone without a trial. God damn it. I hate this timeline. I'm agreeing with Rand Paul. But it's true. And it is true that JD Vance is a piece of shit. Rand Paul didn't say that, but I did. JD Vance, you're a piece of shit. All right, let's keep going. So there is an epidemic in the country called Mar-a-Lago face.
My God, you're greasy.
You or someone you love might suffer. So it is very important to know the symptoms of Mar-a-Lago face. It involves filler. It involves a stretching of the skin. It involves an enlarging of the lips and the thickening of makeup, whether you're a male or female. And there have been many casualties to Mar-a-Lago face. Here's more of the symptoms.
No one's really talking about it, but the plastic surgery face is taking over Mar-a-Lago. Open the news and you'll see. These billionaires are all starting to have the same taste in women. Donald Trump Jr., ex-fiancée Kimberly Guilfoyle, Eric Trump's wife, Lara Trump, Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez. They're all starting to look eerily alike. Sunken eyes, lifted brows, full lips, sharp jawlines, heavy contour in muddy tones, and those blindingly white veneers. It's a lot to take in. Lately, this look seems to be the go-to for rich guys at Mar-a-Lago. And that preference is slowly shaping mainstream beauty standards too. People online keep pointing it out. Like, if all these billionaire wives have that same face, is that what high society beauty is supposed to look like now? Maybe.
No, it's just because Donald Trump has terrible taste and he likes gaudy, over-the-top things, and so he enjoys women who are gaudy and over-the-top in their physical attributes. And early Mar-a-Lago face. Now, Karoline Leavitt used to look like this. She used to look like that. Not, very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman. I'll say that. Ugly as sin for what she believes. Pretty woman. That was your next door neighbor. You'd say, oh, she's a cute girl. Okay? Here she is now. Here she is now. The Mar-a-Lago makeover is complete. We've got the thick lips, the clown makeup, and something very, very odd happening with the eye here. I think it's a Photoshop correction gone wrong. The internet exploded over this. Someone alleged that this is what she looks like. I think this person actually looks better. Someone, well, you see. It's, again, this is the Mar-a-Lago. This is what women in conservative spaces want to look like. Someone else says, what the F is wrong with your eye? And of course, there's just so many of these. I do think it's sad. I think it's sad that women feel that they have to do this to themselves in order to get power in conservative spaces. I think it's a sad thing, but it's also a sign of the evil, in my opinion. Evil has a way of going from the inside to the outside. It seeps into the skin. And first of all, yikes, yeah. Someone else said, well, I know that man installed a spray tan booth in the Oval Office. Perhaps. I hope you can see all those tweets I was showing because I'm in a different setup and I just realized that you couldn't see that one. So hopefully you could see them. Regardless, that's all I got. If you like this video, please hit like in the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Sorry for the different setup. We are traveling, but still want to bring you commentary, and hopefully you don't mind. I'm in New York, so I will be here for a few days, and I'm going to do a panel on Wednesday, interestingly enough. So I don't know if that'll be live stream, but if it is, I will figure out a way for you to see it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.